Wow. How long have you had that handle?
Probably about 3 years. 3 years.
3 years. So you had to hold somebody hostage or put a gun to somebody's head to get that.
So I have at Paul. I also have at Nerds.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent, man. That's great.
I've got guys on my team that have, the one word, just their first name and stuff like that too. So.
Really? Damn, you guys are good.
We are the nerds. We are the nerds. Yeah.
Great nerd stuff, man. So tell me your history before you got real heavy with social media. Where did you really start in the game of, marketing yourself? Where did you start at? Were you a cab driver? Were you a professor? What were you?
I did everything, man. Whatever I had to do. I was delivering phone books. I was doing phone sales. I was just whatever I could do to make money.
Wow.
Yeah, I got tired of the 9-to-5 job. Man, I just had one of the tipping points was I was working for a guy that was, first of all, he was very, very wealthy. Made a lot of money, the nice car, house on the beach, everything like that. But he was a jerk. I mean, he was just plain and simple. The guy was a jerk, nasty to work for, and nobody liked him, but he was very wealthy. And I remember one day he came in, he was yelling at people and so I stood up. I was like, man, nobody likes this attitude you give us. And I just kind of felt how I, expressed how I felt. And of course he said, oh, you talk to me like that again, you're going to get fired. I was like, well, no, that's not going to happen. I leave. And I quit and I left. Wow. And at that point, I did have some background in back then it was just like building websites, SEO, that type of stuff. And I just kind of did it as a side job, making a little bit of money here and there. But at that point, I was kind of put in a position where I was like, man, I need to figure this out and make some money, some real money doing this.
Got you. So what were some of your, I'll call it successful beginning hustles, like things that you made some quick home runs and you were like, damn.
Yeah. So I remember that when I first started making money, I did SEO. SEO, search engine optimization, is very complex, always changing. And I thought I was going to do that and helped with online reputation management, but it was such an evolving thing. It was so new. The rules were always changing. It was difficult. So I remember a friend of mine told me, they said, you need to get on to Facebook. And Facebook was very new back then. And I thought, that's for, playing games. It was, Farmville and that type of stuff back then. And if you've been around Facebook a while, you remember Farmville and all the little games you could play. But I gave in and I jumped on Facebook. And one of the first things that I noticed is that businesses occasionally had Facebook pages. And so I set up a Facebook page for our church. And I don't know, a couple weeks later, someone came to church and I asked them, I'm like, oh, where'd you hear about us? And they're like, oh, we saw your Facebook page. And it was like a light bulb went on. I thought, are you kidding me? Like, these are real people. They came because they saw us on Facebook. And I realized that there was a business opportunity there. And so I started reaching out to local businesses and say, hey, I'll help manage your Facebook page. I'll help you set up a Facebook page. And it was, back then, it was like, I made, I don't know, $20, $30 a month helping businesses set up their Facebook page and manage it.
It must have been a hard sell back then because they were like, Facebook, what the hell is that?
Yeah, it was. Of course I was like, hey, this is like the new advertising platform. You got to get here. You want to be in first and stuff. But I kind of learned something really quickly is I would find businesses that were already on Facebook, but didn't know how to use it, because I figured that was a whole lot easier than trying to teach someone they need to be on it. They were already on it, but let's say they posted a month ago and haven't done anything since then. So it showed me one thing. They realized the importance of being there, but for some reason they didn't have the time or understand how to use it properly. So I started reaching out to those businesses and saying, hey, yeah, let me run your Facebook page. I'll take care of everything for you. And it was a lot easier to get clients that way.
Excellent. So tell me what was the thing where you locked in, you locked and loaded, and you're like, this is it.
Yeah. So it was a lot of businesses, they wanted to grow their Facebook page. When it first got started, nobody cared if you had 100 followers or, 1,000,000 followers. It was just, you had a page. But there came a point where people wanted that social proof, that social validation. They wanted the numbers. And Facebook, they implemented their ad platform. So when you would set up a Facebook page, you could click a little button and it would say, grow my Facebook page now. And it would just, you click it and it would auto generate an advertisement for you. And people, when they would scroll through Facebook, it would suggest that you would follow this page. Well, the thing about it, it was auto generated. It looked horrible. And me being a tech guy, I started figuring out how to do things in the advanced Facebook ad manager, where I could create custom ads. And I was playing around with it just kind of like a hobby. And I was able to grow pages really good. So what I would do is I would scroll through Facebook and I would see an ad and I would say, oh, that's one of those auto-generated ads, because it looked ugly. Everything was done wrong. It would take some picture from your profile and put it on here, and then it would just say the name. So it was horrible. So I would see people running these ads. So what that told me is they had money to spend, So I would send them a message and I would say, start a conversation. I'd be like, hey, I see you running ads to grow your page. How's that going? I already know if they did one of those auto-generated ads, it wasn't going good.
Right.
But they thought it was. Right. They're like, oh yeah, I'm getting like 50 followers a day. I'm like, oh, fantastic. Like, how much are you spending a day? They're like, oh, $40, $50. So they were spending $40, $50 a day and getting like, $1 a like. Right. And I was testing it. I was running things and I was able to get, likes. I would get 10 likes for a penny.
Wow.
10 likes for a penny. And they were good targeted likes. So I would make a proposition with these business owners and I would say, hey, how about you let me do it? You pay me $20 a day, $40 a day. And instead of getting, 40 likes, I will get you 500 likes. And of course they would be skeptical. That's not possible and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it is. I said, let me do it for 2 days for free. And I'll get you 500 likes every day. That was $5 for me. So I would spend $10 and they would come back. They're like, this is amazing. Let's do it. And so, of course, I would get $40 a day from them. It would cost me $5. The $35 I would pocket.
Wow.
And so there I went from, just posting on people's Facebook page, getting $30 a month, to now I'm getting $30 a day. That's $900 a month.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And so that when I locked in a couple of those clients doing that, I would spend the day just scrolling through Facebook until I found one of those people running those auto-generated ads. And I would message him. And it was like at least half the people. And I would always let me do it for free a couple of days just to convince them. Once I did a couple of days, it was over.
Wow. That's great. Yeah. So how was your business transition from when you started to what you're doing now mostly? Where is most of your business, core of your business at this point?
Yeah, so what we do now is we work with a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, and it's more advanced level of marketing. Over the years, one thing that you've learned is, you don't get clicks for a penny anymore. It doesn't happen. We used to, back in the day, we would get 5 or 6 clicks for a penny. Well, it doesn't. It's like $1 a click. So what that did, it did a couple things. Number one, people that were just going for the quick money, the quick cash, they fell off pretty quickly. And so I had some roller coaster rides where things that I was doing, 1 month, the policies change, the rules change, the ads change, and that party's over. So I had to really step my game up into a higher level of marketing. So what we do now is we build funnels, we build systems, and we run ads for businesses and help them scale and generate profits. A lot of our clients are entrepreneurs that have digital courses, coaching programs, services like that. So that's kind of been something, that's not the only clients that we have, but that's something that myself and our agency, our team is known for, is working with a lot of the top entrepreneurs, helping them build their course and scale it out to the audiences.
Gotcha. So what would you say, you don't have to give me their names, but some of your success stories of what kind of business?
I can drop some names. Yeah. So I've had the privilege of working with some of the top entrepreneurs online, guys like Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, Bob Proctor, Les Brown, Kevin Harrington, A-list celebrities, Fortune 500 companies, some really cool people, some awesome people. It's amazing to think, a decade ago, I was delivering phone books just to make money. And now I've, again, worked with some of the top entrepreneurs, celebrities, and been out to Hollywood and sat at dinner with Kevin Hart and talked with his manager and done deals with, celebrities and stuff. So yeah, we've worked with some amazing people and helped them grow their brand, build out their courses, and literally help them make tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars.
Wow. And now that's very impressive. How did they find you other than, how did they get to know, go to Paul, go to the nerds?
Man, it's the bow tie. It's the bow tie. It's like a magnet, it's like they see the bow tie. They're like, I got to work with that guy. So here's the simple thing is, if you do good work, if you get results, the results will be your biggest marketing, pool is results. When you get results, you don't have to go chase people. People come chasing you. So, that's, in an essence, that's what happened. I was doing work for some local businesses and some, just the average people in hotspots like LA, California, where there are big businesses and, well-known people. I was doing that in LA, but it was, I was working for getting leads for insurance people, getting leads for realtors. And somehow it happened that one of these, traditional businesses that I was doing stuff for, they got talking to some celebrities. They got talking to, you know how it is. They just, how's business going? And they're like, oh, fantastic. I'm working with some nerd over in Florida, and he's been doing an amazing job. And next thing I know, I've got celebrities calling me up. We did work for different movies, and wow. Entrepreneurs and people like that just started calling me up. I'm like, well, I've never done that before, but once you know certain techniques of marketing, how to build a good ad, how to design a good funnel, the skills and the techniques, they translate into all businesses and all industries. Like I can look at a business and I can say, their website's horrible. They're not going to make any money on that. Doesn't matter if it's an entrepreneur or if it is a clothing store. I can look at what they're doing and say, change this and this will improve things. So, the skills of marketing, whether it's copywriting or building optimizing funnels or running ads, it translates into all industries.
Wow. And now it seems like you've almost mastered the funnel and the whole picture of online marketing. Mm-hmm. Now, have you ever put together any kind of proprietary software or app, or how do you streamline it?
Yeah. So, of course, our preferred platform for building funnels is ClickFunnels. Shout out Russell Brunson. So that's one of our preferred platforms for building funnels. Within our team and with our company, we do have certain integrations that allow us to kind of get really good details on how funnels are performing. Like we've got proprietary software that our team has made where I can see, okay, if a person comes in on January 1st and they buy from us a $7 product, well, I can look at them on March 15th and say, okay, on this day they bought this, and I can see a person from the day that they enter our world all the way for the entire lifetime, how much revenue that one person has generated. And I can say, okay, the revenue was generated from email, it was generated from Facebook, it was generated from Instagram, it was generated from, and I can get very granular detail, and that helps us see what's working, what's not working, and the value of each one of our customers on a lifetime journey. So yeah, we've built different softwares, and here's the thing that a lot of people kind of, if you're not careful, you'll let ego get in the way and think, oh yeah, I'm the best of the best, I'm the top of the top. But the facts of the matter are there are a lot of good marketers. There's a lot of people that know how to run Facebook ads, build funnels. There's great people. What differentiates the person that just knows a lot to the person that is more preferred and people want to work with them is, number one, the experience that they have, the people that they've worked with, the results that they've got. And for us, we have spent, in some of our top months, we're spending $6 and $7 million a month just in ads. There's some agencies that won't spend that much in 10 years. Right. So the amount of ads that we are running gives us an abundance of experience that we know what's working. We've tested things. So that kind of differentiates us from the average marketer.
Does that get scary? I mean, when a client gives you a lot of dough like that, does it put the pressure on?
Absolutely.
Like your balls got to feel like, oh shit, if I screw this up, like.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that I always tell all my clients is we spend their money like it's our money. We're not going to spend, if we're not getting results on spending $1,000, we're not going to spend $10,000, and if we're not getting results on $10,000, we're not going to scale it to $100,000. So we scale and we spend money like it is legitimately ours. So we don't just like, they gave us $1 million. And, we've had situations like that where a client's like, hey, here's $2 million, do whatever, and obviously to keep a long-term relationship like that where someone's going to entrust that type of revenue with you, you want to give them amazing results. Again, that's one thing that I've seen is like, man, if you can give results, you can make people money, you can help them out, achieve their goals, then it definitely makes the relationship a lot easier.
But is it really relative if you're talking about putting $1,000 into something a month, then 100,000? Is it really relative, or once you start throwing bigger money, just bigger amounts of money at it?
Well, so this is what I can say. At this point in the game, we know very early, like after we've spent $5,000, we kind of know the trajectory of where things are going to go and what's going to happen, what type of results we could, normally expect in a given situation. Of course, you got something crazy like Corona or something like that drop into the middle of a situation that can slow things down. But on an average situation, we know that if we have a funnel, we've got a product, we've got a service. After we spend $5,000, we get feedback and results. We know, okay, this is our result at $5,000. At $50,000, we can expect these results. At $150,000, we would expect these results. And so we kind of know that from experience. But I have to tell you, when we first got started, and so this is what I see. Looking back when I first got started, most people don't have the guts to invest during that testing phase, because they will, you spend $5,000 and you get, like a 5% return on your money, or you break even, or you lose a little bit of money, people will be like, it's not going to work, it's over. But we've learned that you have to invest a certain amount of money before you can really expect solid results back. So it's about optimizing, fine tuning. So a lot of times if we spend $5,000 and we break even, or we lose a little, make a little, we know through optimizing, tweaking, and changing things that we can legitimately make millions of dollars from that particular funnel.
Wow. So, wow, that's amazing. So do you guys still work on campaigns at a smaller level, or is it now like, all right, this is our minimum?
Yeah. So we do have different tiers of entry point with clients. We're not an agency that, hey, $500 a month and we can get going. It's really our time and our team and stuff like that is more expensive than that. But typically I tell people, if you got a few $1,000s a month to work with on a marketing budget, there's a possibility that we might be able to do something. For us, all of our agreements are performance based, and that's important for people to understand in hiring an agency, working with marketers, because I've seen horror stories where people, they get locked in and they're spending, $5,000 a month plus ads, having an agency work for them, and they're locked into a 6-month contract, and they've got an agency that is getting dismal results and they're unhappy about it, but they're locked into this 6-month agreement, like they're held prison to this agency. So we've always felt like, the most ethical way to do things like this is we do a month-to-month basis. And, if we're not getting results, just tell us to hit the road. But then in addition to that, we do share in the profits. So we do have a stake. If we generate profits, we get a percentage of the profits too. And most people, they really respect that. They're like, okay, especially like I've had clients that we work with that they've, again, been stuck with an agency for a year, haven't made any money. And then we come in and say, hey, we'll do it. This is our rates, and we're month to month, and we want 30% of profits. We want 40% of the profits, whatever it might be. And some people might be like, whoa, that's steep. But if they're not making any money and you're saying, hey, I want 30% of the profits, they're like, okay, he's talking my language now. He's talking profits. I haven't made money all year, but he's wanting a percentage of profits, so they have nothing to lose, really. It's a opportunity for them to win. And if for us, our big money is made in profits that we generate for our clients.
Wow. So can you disclose what are some of your biggest successful campaigns and what kind of business that you guys had a profit share of that was just...
Yeah, sure. So some of our biggest campaigns have been digital courses for clients, whether it is an entrepreneur like Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, Bob Proctor, just throwing names out. Don't want to give the specifics of what we generated for them. But, we've had clients that, number one, we launch a course for them where we build it out, we make it for them, and put everything together and launch it brand new. And it make $5-6 million in a few months.
Wow.
That's so phenomenal. We've had that. We've had people that have had courses that really wasn't making any money, just kind of plateaued, went stale, that stopped making money, and we take it on. And first month, again, they've gone a year not making money in any of their course, just very minimal sales. And then we jump in and put our touch on it, change some things, tweak some things, and second month into it, we're making $500,000 a month on it. And so it is, it has to be a good offer, has to be a good product. A lot of people have great ideas. For me, it is always easier if someone comes to you and they say, hey, I've got this product, I've got this course, and I've made $20,000 on it. I made $50,000 on it, but I don't know how to scale it. For us, we're like, okay, this is exciting because they've made money on it. But if a person comes to us and says, I have this idea, I have this concept, and I say, how much money have you made on it so far? Oh, nothing. I haven't launched it yet, haven't done it. Then the risk is really on our shoulders at that point to deliver something. So a lot of times we have different agreements for something like that, that it's okay, well, you don't even know if it's going to work. Everybody, when they come to you, they have the next $1 billion idea.
Of course.
Like, oh, this is going to make billions of dollars. And that's not always the case.
Absolutely. So it seems, is digital courses your sweet spot of, selling the product?
Yeah, absolutely. Digital courses. But again, within our various departments of our agency, like for me, when people come to me for consulting advice, it is really based around digital courses. So I do a lot of coaching programs around digital courses, how to build out digital courses, also I've got a coaching program called From Rockstar to Revenue, teaching people how to build their social media influence and then monetize it. So I have that. But I've ran ads for car dealerships, mom and pop restaurants, insurance companies, realtors. Within our company, we are running campaigns and ads for just about any type of business, roofers, ice cream shops. So yeah, we've worked with just about anybody.
Wow. Yeah. And where are most of the sales happening? What platform is there? I mean, obviously you're probably doing every platform, but where is most of the sales today coming from?
Yeah, so Facebook, we love Facebook, running ads, Facebook and Instagram, kind of say those are the same platforms. Instagram and Facebook is the same ad manager. But we also do YouTube ads, and TikTok has becoming, like we've got one client that, he's doing, I don't know, $50,000, $60,000 a month in revenue from TikTok.
How? So, I mean, those videos are like 2 seconds with 10-year-olds dancing. How the hell do you make money on that?
It's just, well, when you have a product that will sell to high school and college age people, then it's like, for example, his course is teaching people how to pass a high level college exam, and it goes for like $5,000. And you've got kids on TikTok that they want to pass that college exam, and this is a special training to help them pass it. Then it doesn't matter where there's eyeballs, there's opportunity to make money.
Gotcha. Now I recently saw that Target was the first big big box store to go on Instagram and sell directly from the post. Where you click on. Why is it taking this long? They've had that feature for a couple of years where you can.
What's
the deal with that?
Here's the one thing that I've realized about some of the biggest companies is they know nothing about marketing. It really is. There's especially when it comes to social media marketing, internet marketing, a lot of big companies. Like I did a study one time where I just went through all kinds of big companies and looked at their websites, looked at the ads that they were running, and it was done in a horrible way. Absolutely. I have had Fortune 500 companies reach out to me and hire our agency to replace like a Harvard graduate internet marketer that was running their marketing campaigns. The thing about internet marketing is it's not something you just go to college, you get a degree, and you come out and you're like, okay, I'm an internet marketer. But you are learning this every day, every week. It's continual education, and a degree or going through a course or some type of training will never replace pure experience. I think that goes with any type of career, any type of business. Experience can never be replaced by, a just the formal education.
Absolutely. I agree completely. So, how have your goals changed? Because 10 years ago, you couldn't imagine being in the position you're in now. So
Yeah,
now how is your goal? What is your big goal now at this
yeah.
point?
So that's a good question, and I think every entrepreneur can probably relate to this. There comes a transition in your business, in your mind, your focus, where it's not just about making income, but it's about making an impact. And granted, there was years where it was just, man, I need to make money. I need to get the bills paid. I want to make as much money as possible. And then once you have systems in place where you've got, you're making money, then the lure or, drive to just make more money isn't as pressing. So it's about making an impact and helping people. And so, uh, even like 2 3 years ago, I wasn't doing much when it came to my own courses, my own training, my own coaching. I was doing everybody else's coaching programs and running ads for them and helping them. But probably about 3 years ago, I had a friend of mine. He said, "Paul, man, you need to do a course." And I'm like, I don't want to be one of those course guys. I know all these people doing courses and stuff. And he said, everybody always comes to you and they're asking you, how do you do this? How do you do this? And, instead of you getting on the phone and talking to them for an hour for free, why don't you make a course and, sell it? And so it was one of those things where I realized, okay, I am already teaching people. I'm already coaching people. It was in some aspects starting to consume my time, and building a course could actually help people. Like, where is it? Here in my office. Okay, here it is. Like, I just released a book. I started putting this together in August or September of last year. It's 27 online side hustles. And why I did this is I have people come to me and they're like, "Hey, Paul, can you teach me how to do what you do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you got a couple of years? You want to sit down and we'll talk about this?" Because it isn't something you just, 5 minutes. Yeah, there you go. But I realized when they were asking me that they were saying, "Hey, Paul, can you teach me how I can generate a revenue online? I can work from home. I can have freedom to just, my phone and laptop and internet access, and I can make money." So in August or September last year, I started interviewing and talking to people that were doing real legitimate things besides what I do, running a large agency. I interviewed people, and so it's a mixture between my own personal experience and interviews with people on how you can legitimately make money online. Not these cheesy, do 5,000 surveys and make $5, not stuff like that, but how you can legitimately make money online. And so I put that together, and for me, it's a cool feeling to get messages from people like, "Hey, man, I got your book and I made $50.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? It's $50.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's money. Yeah. And so if I can teach someone how to make $50, they can take those tools and those principles and they can make $5,000.
Absolutely. So give me something from the book. I want to know, one, it's a pandemic, right? Yeah. Everybody's generally broke except for the free money coming into their account from the government. Yeah, so if you had to pick one kind of simple side hustle that everyone is pretty much capable of doing, what's one that you could just...
Okay. So this is chapter 9 is online user testing. So what this is, there are several websites that you can go simply set up an account and you take a very basic test. I mean, like a 10-year-old could pass this test. And you just answer simple questions. And then once you have an account set up, they will put projects in front of you where companies, they will want people to give feedback about their websites or about their apps. So you'll log in and you'll have your microphone on, your camera on, and they give you a project. Takes you about 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most. And they'll say, go to this website. You go to that website and they'll say, what are the hours of business about this website? And then you'll say, okay, I'm clicking through the website and I'm looking at info. Okay, the hours of business are Monday through Friday, 9 to 9. And you're just giving feedback. And then you click next. And then it'll say, what are the 3 specialties of this business? And then you're like, okay, I'm looking under, and you just give what you're thinking, what you're seeing, your feedback. At the end of it, you might do 20 questions or whatever. You give a little feedback. Hey, what do you think they should do to improve this website? What's your own personal opinion? Blah, blah, blah. You talk for a minute or two about that. Finished. And when you're done, pa-ching, $20, $30 to your PayPal account.
Wow. I mean, that's easy money.
It's easy money. Easy money.
God.
Yeah. So when I first heard about that, I was like, no way, it can't be that easy. So I set up an account and I did it. And it was so exciting to me when I got, as silly as this, PayPal account. It was exciting to me because I know that $20 to $30 for a person that is struggling in this time, it is $20, $30 a day can really, really help them out.
No, that's amazing. So along with these side hustles and all these online ways to generate income, there's a lot of scams out there, like tons of scams. So tell us maybe the number one scam that most people are naive to, because you probably encountered it yourself in your hustle. Which is the one to really warn people of, that, in your opinion?
Yeah. So well, honestly, within the digital marketing space, there's a lot of unfortunate scams. There's people that are selling courses that they've never done before. There's people that are selling products that they haven't, they've never tested. So for me, some of the biggest scams are simply people that are saying they've done something that they haven't done, and it's easy to sell. It's like, man, I could put together a course about, how to sell bottles or something like that. But if I haven't ever sold a bottle, then who am I to do it? So, one of the things that you want to watch out for is people that are selling courses and selling training where they have no experience in it, where I see this, it's like, you get one guy that made $500 on Amazon and now he's going to sell an Amazon course. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
gotcha. All these experts.
Yeah. The experts. Yeah. So you definitely want to get people that have the experience, that have the background, and for that matter, have the testimonials that would support what they're actually selling. Like the old saying says, you want to find people that have corn in their crib. You know what I mean?
Right. Gotcha.
So people are selling things that they don't have experience doing, and that can really be damaging to people because they're sold this hope, this dream, and it's just people. The only thing that they're making money on is not what they're selling the course about, but they're making the money on the course.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's kind of sleazy, but
yeah, it happens. So that was kind of like one of the things that I, when I first got into courses, is I didn't, because I can give you an example. I remember sitting at a conference one time, and this guy was introduced. It was like, he is the number one expert in Facebook marketing. He's spending blah, blah, blah. And just like, he is the guru of gurus, blah, 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 blah. And, he's the Facebook ads expert. And this guy comes up and I'm sitting there and I'm just shaking my head because I'm the one that runs all his ads. And he knows nothing about Facebook marketing. And so I remember it being like, are you kidding me? This guy knows nothing about Facebook ads, but he had somehow presented this image that he did. And granted, there's sometimes that people that they were the expert at one time, but now they're not doing it themselves. And so, that's one thing about any course that I do or anything that I sell. It's like, I can teach you about Facebook ads because I do it every day. I can teach you about funnels because I do it every day. It's not something that I just, I'm legitimately doing this every day.
Wow. So I'm curious, as an entrepreneur, we're futurists, right? We're not always looking for that now hustle. We're always like, what are we going to do? What's our next project, our next venture? So how has the pandemic shifted your way of thinking in business going forward? Because as we know, business is going to be different. Nothing will ever be the same, and we have to adjust to that. So how are you adjusting to that? And what are some tweaks in your business based on this pandemic?
Well, so here's a couple things. I know a lot of guys that and maybe this is true for them. They're like, oh yeah, during this pandemic, oh man, I've been crushing it and stuff like that. But if they haven't felt a sense of, okay, I need to change some things, I need to adapt some things, then they're just blind or ignorant. I don't know. So having an agency where we have a lot of different clients, we saw where some clients, their stuff, it stopped. And again, we are performance based, and we get a share of the profit and everything like that. So we were affected by that. But then we saw other clients where their stuff just went, because of the product, the service that they were offering became more relevant, or, more people online. So there were changes. So it's kind of one of those things where for us, it balanced out. But there were divisions of our company that stopped, when we're doing marketing for restaurants and, local businesses, gyms, that stopped. So you definitely, every business has to have an online presence in one way or another, a way to connect with your clients, your customers, because we see, if you told us a year ago that we would be quarantined to our houses, not able to leave,
no way.
It's no way. That's crazy. And so every business that is dependent upon foot traffic to come to them, there has to be a wake up that says, I need a way to connect with my clients, my customers, online, anywhere, anytime. So I give you an example. One of our clients is a restaurant that, again, like every other restaurant, they saw a halt in their business. But we were able to adapt and, transition where we set up ads advertising the delivery and pickup of their food. And so that helped kind of like mitigate the loss here by really pushing the delivery and takeout of that restaurant. So, and now down here in South Florida, restaurants are starting to open back up and stuff. The restaurant has told us, we're not going to stop that. We're going to keep doing that. And now moving forward, they may do better.
So now we already know brick and mortar, it's closed today. It's going to be limited opening tomorrow. And going forward, a lot of guys are going to close, not guys, a lot of companies are going to close down completely because they've already had some online presence and some sales, and now they can convert their investing in ads online and less on real estate and brick and mortar. So what do you think is going to happen if everyone is really going hardcore online? Something's going to happen. There's going to be a debacle somewhere
Well, what it does is it makes puts the pressure on marketers that they have to be better. And that's the whole premise of marketing, is that you have to differentiate yourself in one way or another. You have to be a somehow stand out. You have to be able to get attention when when you got 1,000 people trying to get the same attention. You have to do something that will differentiate yourself from the other 1,000 people. So that's what it does. It puts the pressure on marketers to be better. So you have to have better ads, you have to have better funnels, you have to have better systems in place. You have to have things optimized, because there's going to be more people jumping into this. There's going to be more competition, and you just got to be better. To some people, they should be nervous about it. Other people, they should be like, okay, this is going to give me an opportunity to really push things. But that's the wave of marketing. It goes through this, every 2 or 3 years, where something changes, rates in advertising go up, and so you have to do something to make yourself better. So with every business person, you got to always be making yourself better.
So on this show, Evan the Biz, obviously I'm an entrepreneur. I have a lot of different businesses, and I like to talk to people like you and have a backstory to your success. And I also like to bring the audience into my life and my businesses. So I'm just going to throw something at you and get your thoughts. I don't need any secret sauce. But I'm almost presenting it like, how would your company deal with it? And maybe even get involved. I'm investing in a company that's manufacturing an electrostatic sprayer. Now, this is the magic bullet for disinfecting all commercial facilities.
Wow.
Before the pandemic, there were only 2 manufacturers. Mm-hmm. When the pandemic hit, they basically had no stock because it was a very niche machine.
Yeah.
I found a company that's making these sprayers in the U.S. right now. They're the only one that can manufacture.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's such a monstrous, the highest demand machine sprayer in this whole country with no supply.
Yeah.
They're all the 2 big manufacturers, they can't get them for months, maybe a year in full supply. No. So how would you go about such a product? Now this is like a $2,000 machine.
Yeah.
But it can take care of 40,000 square feet in a few hours. It has a high impact. So how do you take a magic bullet like this electrostatic sprayer and bring it to market? Because we're trying to figure out, it is a magic bullet, but it's so needed. It's a high ticket item.
Yeah.
What's the best way to go about something like this?
Well, obviously there's going to be certain businesses that would obviously want this. Like, for example, one that I think of is a gym. Every gym needs to be one of those, because this is what a product like that is going to do is you try to make that as the everybody should have one of these, and then people. So what I would do is I would say, like this is the gold standard of sanitizing, disinfecting your business, and it helps get your customer confidence up. If they know that you're using this on a daily basis, then they're going to feel safer. So that's how I would present it.
And you get it. That's exactly it. So now they're trying to figure out, how do we get it to everybody? Because everybody needs it. There's 80 billion square feet of commercial facilities in this country that need it. And maybe 0.001% have one of these.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yes. I would try to focus on initially a certain niche, whether it's gyms or restaurants or something like that, theaters where there are high traffic and a lot of people like that. And then once you have, here's the thing, is when gym number 1 has it, gym number 2 will have to get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you just kind of like, hey, the gym over there, they're using it, and you can even put like little stickers that show, hey, this business has been disinfected with this machine.
Wow.
So
It's funny how you get it so quick. You don't even know the business, and you get it completely.
That's. But here's the thing, is stuff like this is cyclical, where okay, everybody's talking about Corona, they're afraid of it and everything, but 6 months down the road, when there's a vaccine and everything like that, everybody's going to be sneezing on each other, and it's going to be, so there has to be a conscious education of people, and that is the challenge about a product that is, I don't want to say that it's fear-based, but you have to take a product like that and normalize it as if it's just as normal as using hand sanitizers.
Right.
You and I growing up, I don't know how old you are, but I'm just saying, for me, when I was a kid, nobody had hand sanitizer. Nobody had hand sanitizer. I mean, as kids, we were walking around licking floors. And
That's right.
It wasn't, there was no, germs didn't exist.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we did whatever. Walk into the gas station barefoot. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's just, we were crazy back then. But I remember when hand sanitizer first came out, it was like, these people are weird.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What do you need that for?
Yeah, why do you need hand sanitizer? There's like a bunch of germaphobes, and people that used hand sanitizer were, just like they were radical or something like that. And now it's like, you don't use hand sanitizer?
You disgusting pig, you.
Yeah, exactly.
Walking cesspool.
Yeah. So
that's
funny.
funny.
You almost have to normalize a product like that. And the pandemic could normalize a lot of things.
Right. Yeah, obviously, like masks is going to be that it's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look over in Asia, countries like that, they've been wearing masks for years. It's completely normal there.
Right. So, right. So one last question, because what I like about you also is not only that, you're knowledgeable and you have a great business, but I'm
good looking too.
Well, I don't go that way right now. Maybe after the pandemic is over. No, but you have like a brand. You have like a look. What made you think about, or getting the bow tie together, the suit? When did that all? Have you been born with this suit on? Like you gave birth?
So here's the funny thing: is this was not a brand decision.
That's you.
This was me. Yeah. So the first time. First of all, growing up as a kid, I was 10 years old and I knew how to program computers.
Wow.
So I was always nerdy, and that loved science and math and stuff. So stereotypical nerd. But back then nerd wasn't cool. It was like, but I wore glasses, and in business, I always wore a suit, used to wear a regular tie. And my friends used to joke around like, oh man, all you need is a pair of suspenders and a bow tie and you got the nerd look going. And so I didn't adopt the suspenders, but I wore a bow tie. It was like the week after someone had joked around about saying that, I wore it, and all of them were like, yeah, it actually looks cool. It looks cool. And for some reason, I thought, I don't remember what it was, but we got a good business deal or something like that. And I was like, man, maybe the bow tie brought me good luck, And so I stuck with the bow tie, and, the whole Marvel comic books and everything like that. That's legit. That's real. I have comic books here in my office. And
I believe it. I see all the paraphernalia.
Yeah, my posters are signed by all the actors and Stan Lee and stuff.
Wow.
So I mean, that really is the nerd. And so it just kind of it evolved from, that's who I was, and I was an internet marketer, and so yeah, it just kind of evolved. That's who I was, and I embraced it and doubled down on. Okay, I'm a nerd, and it's done well, I guess.
Obviously, it pays off to be a nerd.
Yeah.
There's been a shift.
I always tell people a nerd today is your boss tomorrow.
Absolutely, that's true.
So,
Yeah, don't push that nerd. Don't bully him because he could be your boss.
Yep.
That's great, man. So yeah, Paul, it's been great chatting with you, man. We appreciate your time. You're doing great things. You have some great inspirational messages on your social media. And we appreciate you. That's why, we wanted to talk to you,
Thanks a lot, Evan. Well, you're doing some cool stuff too. I saw some of your interviews and what you're doing, so I wish you much success.
Thank you. And I hope we can do some things together, man. You're a great entrepreneur. I'd love to get my hands dirty with and get into something.
Absolutely. Sounds great, man. We'll definitely have to chat about it.
Excellent. So we'll keep in touch. And again, thank you, Paul. Get it. It's at Paul. And get his new book, 27, what is it, Side Hustles?
Side Hustles, yes.
That's beautiful, man. All right, good luck with that.
All right, thanks a lot, bro.
See you, Paul.